We've got two custom shop Martins inspired by actually two of our favorite in the 18 series. We're going to tell you all about what makes these guitars special, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store link below for our custom designed t-shirts, or buy something. That's always helpful. So, Cooper, Martin Custom Shops, we love them.
Yeah, we're fans for sure.
They really are kind of a step above. And I think you, like me, are a fan of the 18 series anyway, right?
Yes, for sure.
So standard 18 series, your D18, your 0018, I think I've gone on record years ago as saying those are two of my favorite guitars in the entire Martin lineup. And what we have today are a pair of custom shop guitars that are inspired by those. And you know, it's been interesting. I don't think it's been a secret that with the pandemic going on, it's been difficult to get certain guitars. Martin has been one of the guitar companies that it has been particularly difficult because they don't make guitars as fast as some other companies do. You know, They really take their time. Some of the processes that are in place, just they are what they are. But one thing that we have been able to get a hold of from time to time are some great custom shops. These are a pair of what we call lottery guitars. Do you play the lottery?
I never have, actually.
No lottery? No scratch-offs?
I mean, I've never won anything. Okay. So let's say that. Yeah.
I had a friend once growing up that had this uncanny ability to pick up a scratch off that someone had thrown away and win something. He could also beat the memory game at Little Caesars Pizza and get free food all the time. Anyways, Josh, if you're out there, when he shared it was. But anyway, the lottery guitars is something that happens at the NAMM show. And we didn't have a Winter NAMM show, but we still had a lottery. And basically, there's a finite selection of custom shop guitars that Martin has offered. And if you want one, your name goes into a hat. And then they pull, and that's how you end up with one of them. So we've seen that from Martin before. We've seen that from Taylor and others. So that's what these are. And what I love about these is these are fairly affordable custom shop guitars that are kind of like the 18 series on steroids. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with the one I have first, and then we're going to talk about the one that is in your lap. So this is a 000. It's inspired by 0018, but you can't really say it's a custom shop 0018. It's what Martin would say a 0014F, which is 14 frets to the neck, effectively in a 000 body. And it is an actual 000 because it's got the shorter scale length than an OM would have. Now, this is inspired by an 18 series, so it is Sitka spruce. It is really high-grade mahogany. It's got a wonderful mahogany neck on it, and eagle-eyed people will know that if you read through some specs on a standard Martin, it might just say select hardwood. This is actually mahogany. Ebony fingerboard, ebony bridge, wonderful appointments like the little abalone dots, and 18 style rosette. The script is kind of cool on this one because it's the classic style, but it's in silver. And then if we get into the specifics, you will understand why this guitar sounds so great. The top on this guitar is a VTS Sitka spruce top with Sitka bracing. Now, VTS is Martin's vintage tone system. It's basically their torrefaction process that ages the wood, and I think they peg it at 80 years old or something like that. And that's really important for making the wood very resonant. The other thing that is done on this top is that it has hide glue construction. And hide glue is basically animal protein glue. Do you ever use that when you're doing woodwork?
Nope, I'm
not for yourself,
Titebond.
Right? It's Titebond, right?
Yeah, Titebond guy.
But Titebond is a great glue. It's going to adhere very, very well. But the way that it cures is it's kind of like a gasket. Mm-hmm. It's almost like this rubber gasket between two pieces of wood. When you're dealing with animal protein, it cures in this crystalline way. It's more like glass. And if you think about those two things, like rubber versus glass, which one is going to transmit vibrations better? It's going to be glass. And so that's what's used on the top here. And, I can hear the difference. I played this guitar before looking at the specs, and I could hear the difference, and I wondered to myself, I could look and see, hey, that's a VTS top because it's got that darker color to it. But I'm like, this is so resonant. I bet it's hide glue. And sure enough, it is. So it does make a difference. Outside of that, it's very, very much like a standard 0018. It's just, it's kind of turbocharged. And I don't know if you picked this or noticed this when you picked up these two guitars, but did you feel how light they were?
Yeah, super duper light. Very Yeah, it's surprising, but it's cool.
It's cool. And that's one of the things I've always picked up from Martin Custom Shop Instruments. Now, you haven't had a chance to go to the factory yet. I really want you to be able to go. I've gone. It's been years now. But when you go into the factory, you have the normal stuff that's going on with the standard guitars that are built there. And then you have this separate section that's custom shop. And when you go there, you see really these artisans hand scalloping bracing, hand carving necks. I mean, these guitars are really, in a lot of ways, made the old way with a lot of new appointments and new neck shapes and things like that. But you can pick up one of these instruments and you can tell the difference kind of right away.
Yeah.
So you've got a bigger body in your lap.
Yeah, so what would kind of be somewhat inspired by like a D18, not called a custom shop D18, D14F, just like the 0014F over there, 14 fret Dreadnought, Adirondack spruce top.
Adirondack top and Adirondack bracing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Addy is awesome.
Pretty cool. And, high grade mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, open gear tuners. This one has the script logo, but it's in gold.
Yep.
There's something, so I love how this guitar, like you just saw, it's just straight, very subtle seam. On that guitar, however, there's a pretty ornate, cool thing that sets it apart.
Which there's about 24 of these. I think this is the Bolotron, but it's probably not. I think I read that on the specs. But yeah, it's a beautiful color seam there in the two back pieces. Both of these guitars are kind of like sleepers,
Yeah.
Like the car that doesn't look like it's going to blow the doors off of something, and yet it will.
Yeah.
Because looking at them, they could very easily be mistaken for a run-of-the-mill 0018 or D18, and I think that's where some of the magic is. Because if you've played either of those are both fantastic, fantastic guitars. So when you pick these up and they're that much better, that tells you how special they really are. And it's what I consistently see coming out of Martin's Custom Shop. Really special instruments.
Yeah. It's interesting. We've seen some other customs that we've had, somewhat recently that are much more ornate, adorned, really fancy looking instruments that you can tell just by looking at it way across our store. That's a special, that's a custom shop. This, I've seen a lot of people come in and think it was like a regular 0018, but there's little tiny things that set it apart, and also it sounds better than any, like just, straight out of the box 0018 or D18. The thing that playing them, like you said, that so with the hide glue, the high grade wood, everything, it feels like you can tell that there's nothing in the way of like the best possible sound. It feels very effortless to just get like a very big Martin Dreadnought sound out of this. They're pretty great. I like it.
Absolutely. So to prove it, I'm going to put them through their paces so you can hear for yourself exactly how great these guitars are and how good they sound. So check it out. So there you have it. 2 phenomenal guitars from Martin's Custom Shop. Again, Mahogany, I don't think gets its due. I don't know if I've said this on the channel, but I had this kind of diatribe with a guy in the store the other day that, Martin is just Mahogany is underappreciated. Everyone kind of goes, yeah, rosewood, and rosewood's great. I love rosewood guitars. I have lots of rosewood guitars, but like East Indian rosewood is easy to get. There's not a problem with supply at all. Mahogany, it's not as easy to get, honestly. And there's some concerns about if Honduras mahogany is going to be available, just indefinitely going into the future. And it has a wonderful tone. I think because it just looks, I guess plain would be the word for it, but it's not like East Indian rosewood that's quilted maple or anything.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic wood that I think deserves its due. And when it's done in guitars like these, you really get to appreciate that wonderful warmth and mid-range from it. So,
yeah.
But these are 2 very, very different guitars. And, I think it's tough to pick.
It is tough to pick. I think, so you said it depends on what you're playing.
It depends on what I'm playing, yeah. Cooper was like, which one's your favorite? It depends. So when I did the demos for this, I played that one with fingerstyle pieces effortlessly. Like, I could play so light. I found myself playing lighter, relaxing more as I played the instrument, which is something that you really want. You don't want to be fighting the guitar. And that typically comes from a guitar that, 1, is easy on playability, and 2, is very resonant. Because if it's resonant, the notes just jump out and you're not having to dig in as much, and that allows you to be more musical. And so when it comes to playing fingerstyle, I really liked that one. Now, when I put a flat pick to it, it was kind of underwhelming because now it's not doing what I think it really shines at. It was okay, but it wasn't the best guitar. This was the exact opposite. It was like, it wanted a flat pick in spades. It responded the more you dug into it. When I did fingerstyle pieces on this, I had to dig in more, so it was quieter because it's a bigger guitar. And so you had to put a little bit more energy into it. But the minute that you did, it was there. And yeah, the rich bass on this, Josh pointed something out that a lot of people hear that sound and they go, yeah, it's bass. It's actually not. It's like rich, warm mid-range that you're hearing from the bass notes. From the bass notes. That's just slapping the bass. So, but that's what you're getting out of this guitar. It's man, the volume's incredible. And I will credit the custom shop, but another big part of that is the Adirondack top. Adirondack has the highest volume ceiling of any of the spruces that are used on flat top acoustic guitars. I mean, you can just dig into it and dig into it and dig into it, and it will keep just giving you back what you put into it. It's fantastic.
Does that come from how light the wood is and how much it can move? Or
yeah, it's kind of a combination of things. So it's the strength to weight ratio, right? If you look at cedar is the opposite end. We've talked about that, right? It's used on classical guitars a lot because there's less tension. You can use it on a fingerstyle guitar and get this wonderful tone out of it that sounds like really worn-in spruce, but it doesn't have any volume if you really try to give it the go, so to speak. And it's really soft. So if you mess with spruce, like you can barely push it and you can leave a dent.
Yeah.
That's how soft spruce is. And so those characteristics of it allow it to be very resonant. Adirondack is a harder wood than even Sitka, but it's got this strength to weight ratio that allows it to be very springy.
Yeah.
And when you use Adirondack on the bracing as well, that's an important aspect of it because then the bracing is responding in the same way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. You can use Addy bracing on a non-Adirondack top and almost get like 80% of the benefit. My custom guitar with a Sinker Redwood top has Adirondack, and it makes a huge difference. So if you're wanting like a canon of a guitar, this is like that. It's a D18 with an Adirondack top, and it is awesome for that flat picking type stuff. So
it's pretty cool.
If you were picking one, given your playing style, which one do you think you'd go with?
I've been eyeing Martin Dreadnought for a long time, and so this is cool because, so I've been thinking D28 because I don't have a rosewood back and sides acoustic guitar, but it's the tone that you want from any Martin Dreadnought. So I'd probably go for that one just because I've been listening to a ton of bluegrass. I'd love to get that tone and just get like a lifetime heirloom Martin Dreadnought, and this would be a very, very special one. That's not to say that I wouldn't take this in a heartbeat, though. But yeah, I got to go for the Dreadnought.
I think, there's a lot of people who want to play bluegrass, and if that's you, hear me on this. Go with a mahogany guitar, okay? You can think about this in terms of electric guitar, right? If you're playing lead electric guitar, you want a strong mid-range, right? That's what rounds the notes but cuts through the mix at the same time.
Yeah.
If you want to disappear in the mix, you scoop it. That's what we're talking about with tone woods, right? If you have a rosewood guitar, the brightness on it might cut through. I'm not saying you can't play bluegrass on a rosewood guitar.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be very pronounced and yet have that warmth, go with a mahogany guitar with something like an Addy top, and it will cut through and give you all of that boom and richness that you want, and just sound awesome. Both amazing guitars. I don't know which one I'd choose. I'll take both. Give me two. So.
Win the lottery.
Anyways, if you'd like more information about either of these guitars or just about the Martin Custom Shop in general, go to our website at alamomusic.com. We can help you, by the way, in procuring your own custom-made instrument. And really, when it comes to Martin, sky's the limit. Anything you want, we can help you build through that. And thankfully, we're also able to get these wonderful examples on a fairly regular basis from Martin Custom that allows you to have a truly special instrument at maybe an easier to achieve price point. So go to alamomusic.com, check out all the specs on these. We'll link them directly below, and you can also chat live with someone if you have any questions at all. Now, if you're new to our channel, this is what we do. We talk about guitars. We're all about guitars. So if that's your thing, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, and keep coming back for more, because Cooper, I always say it, at the end of the day, the very best guitar in the world is
the one that you're making music on.
I was going to say the Martin Custom Shop.
Oh, that's true.
That you're making music on. So anyways, keep making music. We'll see you next time.